All right, welcome into episode 1 of the 215 Sports Show, a brand new show focusing on Philly sports brought to you by Duquesne Student TV. I'm Donovan Cranage here with my co-host Jack Morgan. We are talking all things Philly sports, and we're going to get right into it, talking about the Sixers, who are in a bit of a rough spot right now, Jack.
Yeah, to our own detriment, talking all about Philly sports because we are Philly sports fans.
Right.
You know what? I think we're going to go right into the anger because I don't think there's any way to beat around the bush with what I watched last night. The Philadelphia 76ers had one more game for the All-Star break. They had one more game for the All-Star break. And they're going up against their I'll say their most hated rival because they really haven't, with the Celtics.
At the moment.
Too much. Yeah, at the moment they're most
Yeah.
No one likes the New York Knicks in the city of Philadelphia. I don't. Maybe the fans that went there last night didn't care for it because clearly if they cared, they'd start a fight. They've gotten their arena taken over 6 straight times by Knicks fans. Six. That means 6 straight home games. They have actually gotten dominated in crowd noise, and they're just sitting there with their heads in their hands, and what are you doing? It's so that's the number one thing. And number 2 is on the court, and that is the fact you lost by 49. You lost by 50. You lost by 50. Let's be real. Let's be incredibly clear. They lost by 50 points. They lost by 50 plus to the New York Knicks at home the day before the All-Star break began for them. And Joel Embiid did not play due to right knee soreness. There's a weekend change for Joel Embiid to get back to playing shape. He did not play due to right knee soreness. I know Joel Embiid has problems with his knee. But for the amount of times they have kicked your teeth in, and they kicked their teeth in tonight, you cannot tell me that Joel Embiid couldn't play. That's one problem. The second problem, they allowed 138 points. How is that possible? They've now allowed 135 or more points in back-to-back games for the first time in 38 years. It's almost double my age. That's insane. It's double Donovan's age.
Definitely double that.
Stupid. I mean, that is unbelievable. The 6th worst loss in franchise history and the 3rd worst ever at home. The most lopsided loss since the process years. You're supposed to be in the process, the good days of the process. Nope. The Philadelphia 76ers decided to sell at the trade deadline. Don't let anyone fool you, they sold. They did not get better, they got worse, which makes absolutely 0 sense. And then for Daryl Morey to go the next day and use it as a press conference to throw shade at James Harden by saying, I don't think anyone in the East got better. Are you kidding? No one in the East got better. All right, thanks, Daryl Morey. So that's your excuse to just screw us and screw the fans and give us a middle finger? Comcast, Spectacor, and the Sixers ownership, Josh Harris. Enough's enough. Enough is enough. Pretty sure the city of Philadelphia is already trying to get Josh Harris out for the whole thing with the files. A true story. I'm pretty sure that's a thing. And aside from that, you should fire him from not having put a good basketball product on. That's my problem. I don't care about that other stuff. It is awful basketball. It is awfully predictable that they will let you down. That is a joke of a performance last night. And I love Tyrese Maxey, I do. But for the first message to the players to be relax. Relax for this All-Star break, guys. Relax tonight. Relax tomorrow, guys. Don't worry. We just lost to, our most hated rival by 50 points. Don't worry. You can relax. Well, here's a funny thing. I'm not relaxed. I'm pissed. That cannot happen. That simply cannot happen. It's happened too much to the point where it's at a breaking point for me. That's happened 6 straight times. I was watching Jose Alvarado run around like Woody the Woodpecker, still like like Bugs Bunny, just stealing the ball and popping threes. Oh my God. They're encouraging him, and it's like a loud boom whenever he makes a shot. I mean, good Lord.
8 3-pointers.
What was that?
8 3-pointers.
And then the other guy in the corner, the big fella, is hitting like 5 3-pointers. I mean, what is happening? What happened?
Yeah, that was rough. I mean, you covered it.
It's unacceptable.
Oh, it's completely unacceptable. You sold at the deadline, and you came in here and you lost by 50 to a team you're likely, possibly going to face in a playoff series. That would not go well, I'd say. It's, at least from what we've seen recently, they're 2-2 against them in the season, but recently they've played terrible. And the truth is, you lost by 50, and you didn't have Embiid for injury management purposes. It's not like something sparked up. It was injury management. So I agree. I definitely think he could have
I'm
played.
happy we're managing his injury with a week rest upcoming. Are you kidding?
Yeah, that just
he
made
did
no
get
sense.
in. By the way, got snubbed, but it's helpful because he will get a week off.
Right.
No, he can't play. Sorry,
Right.
guys.
You had no Embiid. You had no Paul George. That's not an excuse to lose by 50. Like, Embiid is clearly a large part of this team, but it's sort of looking like he's the entire team. I mean, Maxey had 32, and after that, who was the leading scorer? VJ Edgecombe with 14 points.
He didn't have a good game.
No,
for
he
his
didn't.
Shooting stats.
He was 0 for 5 from 3. He was 6 from 16. Like, it wasn't acceptable night shooting. It wasn't acceptable night defensively. Whether you have Embiid or Paul George, who you're going to have to get used to not playing with for the next 18 games, which is how much he has left on his suspension. And I had something else I wanted to say about this game.
Well, here's another thing. The Knicks just came off an overtime game the night before.
With the Pacers.
I don't care if they were at home against the Pacers. That can't happen.
Yeah.
It came off an overtime game. It doesn't mean, it's okay. They were upset they lost last night. They were really motivated. No, it's not how it works in the NBA, guys. You can't lose by 50.
Yeah. Especially going into that week break. Momentum's got to be at an all-time low after that. And you lost Jared McCain, who was obviously a huge locker room guy. But I feel like what we saw was from the minute it started, they never had a chance. They didn't show any fight. You were down 16-4 within the first few minutes of the game.
And they allowed as many back cuts in a 3-minute stretch as I've ever seen in my life. I've never seen anything like it.
It was ridiculous. I mean, you were down 30 at halftime. It was 72-42.
Which felt fitting for the first half. They really deserved it.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Like they showed no fight, right? And I think this team they were taken aback maybe at the deadline. Embiid specifically asked them not to duck the tax and to instead do the opposite and bring in some sort of talent. Didn't have to be Giannis, but Cleveland brought in Harden, and the Knicks brought in Alvarado, who just shot 13 threes and made 8 of them against us, along with 5 steals. The Celtics brought in Vucevic. Like, teams around us are getting better, and we're not in a fantastic place. We're not in a horrible place record-wise, but there is a lot more you could be doing. Why would you sell? I mean, that's the last thing I would think of was to sell. You should be buying. If you're going to give McCain away, you should be bringing someone else that's going to elevate the team, not future picks. That doesn't help us now.
I'm really happy that they decided to clear space for a Dominic Barlow contract. He was a minus 31.
Yeah.
I'm really happy, guys.
Yeah.
You think that? Oh, and then the other fun part about it, where's Quinn Grimes tonight? Because we're going to pay him $25 million. That was literally half of what they're doing it for, too. Was actually to create space in the offseason for Quinn Grimes. Can you believe that?
That's ridiculous.
Can you believe that? Quinn Grimes, not even a starter. Not even going to be a future starter on any iteration of a Philadelphia 76ers team. They want to pay him. They wanted to pay him $20 million, but they didn't have the space.
Yeah.
So they settled. That's what we call settling, kids. They settled. Are you kidding? Dude, they're going to give him a $25 million contract. I'm going to be livid. I know what's going to happen.
It's go. Yeah, I mean.
I can prepare myself all I want, but I know I'm going to be infuriated. It doesn't matter. I'm still going to be mad.
I mean, and
I know it's coming.
I think what's specifically disappointing, because you mentioned Barlow minus 31, is he has been, through the season, one of our best guys defensively. And last night, I mean, it was the whole team, but there was just no fight.
I thought defensively he got beat.
Oh, he did. That's what I'm saying, though.
I can't even count it on my 2 hands.
Yeah, and he's been one of our best defenders, and he's getting beat left and right by Landry Shamet. Like, it was a horrible showing, and I think it's a horrible way to go into the All-Star break. It's not a good look for us. You're still sitting at 6th in the East, which is it's a playoff spot. But you've also shown through the first half of the season that you're struggling against playoff teams. I was looking at it before, and I counted. They are 7-14 against current teams in the East and West that are a top 6 seed. So playoff teams, not play-in teams, playoff teams. You're 7-14.
Yeah, that's
14 losses.
It's ridiculous.
That's not like if you're like 10-10, that's not bad. Obviously, you want to be better. 7-14 is bad, especially when some of these losses are 50-point losses, and a lot of them are more recently, like towards where we are now compared to the start of the season when we beat the Celtics twice and we beat the Knicks twice to begin the season. So.
God, so we're really bad. So what you're saying is we're really bad in the last stretch of these games.
It's been worse. And what salt in the wound basically is McCain had 12 points in 22 minutes last night, and 8 of those came in 75 seconds.
I saw that. That was after I was done with all the Sixers rage, and I was about to settle down, and then I saw that, and I was back on the wagon. You'll never be able to avoid the Jared McCain trade.
No.
It will continue to slap you in the face for the rest of everyone on this planet's lives that is affiliated with the 76ers as a fan or anything. You're going to continue to get slapped in the face, and you know what Josh Harris says? You have to like it because we want you to get slapped in the face. There's no reason to trade him other than, hey, guys, screw you. That's what he said. It's unbelievable. Also very happy that we could clear space for guys like Trenton Watford and Marjan Beauchamp.
Dude, Trent Watford
Negative
is
27
terrible.
apiece.
Trent Watford is terrible, dude.
3 for 10?
Every time he steps on the court, I lose my mind. It's like when I would watch Avante Maddox step on the field. I got the same rage inside my body. Like, why is he on the court? And the thing is, Watford gets a very significant. He had 25 minutes last night. Like, it's not like the occasional, here's Watford. Like, he consistently gets a good amount of minutes on the court, and it just blows my mind. I'm like, how does this guy keep getting minutes? Like, give Johnny Broom more minutes, or, like, Justin Edwards. Like,
Broom to be on the court more.
Like, give your... I mean, I don't know if Trent Watford is young, honestly. I just know he's terrible. Like, give some of these young guys who you spent draft capital on time to go out and prove themselves. I was going to say, I know we didn't draft him.
He's 25 years old. By now, you know what he is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like a first or second year, you know what he is. He is what he is. He doesn't belong on this team.
No.
He doesn't belong on a championship-aspiring team. Now, maybe they're not championship-aspiring. Clearly, maybe I'm wrong about thinking maybe that's the goal of this team. Clearly, because if they're okay with losing games like this, all right, fine. You don't have to want to win a championship. Clearly, don't. And also, the Paul George walkout will happen next episode.
The free Paul George.
If this continues, we will do a free Paul George walkout.
If this continues, we should do a fire Josh Harris walkout.
I would love that. I'll stop
all
beat
Sixers
the drama
fans
and stand on the table and say fire Josh Harris. We'll organize it like a protest.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of people from DSTV in here. I'll start getting them to do chants.
And what's more aggravating is like, because they're in the playoffs right now. Like I've said, they're the 6th seed, but those top 5 seeds, the Pistons, the Knicks, the Celtics, the Raptors, and the Cavs, not a single team are we beating in a 7-game series.
No.
Not a single one of those.
Not the way they're playing right
maybe
now.
you get 3 games on the Raptors. That's it. I don't even think we get 3 games against those teams. The Cavs with Harden now, the Celtics even without Tatum. The Pistons are incredible. They're 40-13. The Knicks have our number these past however many matchups.
The Pistons when they were without Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren, as far as I remember. That's stupid.
But we didn't beat the Nuggets with all 5 starters.
And don't worry, if we even try, Isaiah Stewart's gonna knock someone out on our team. By the way,
that was insane.
7 games for actually squaring up and throwing punches. Paul George takes something for mental health against 25 games. What message are we sending? It's like a war on drugs? Is that how the NBA is now? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
It's stupid. And with that out of the way, I don't think I have anything else left to say. And we're skipping over the Flyers because I'm not talking about them. There's really nothing about
that.
Nothing about the Flyers. They did what everyone expected. But they haven't even played.
I was going to say, the NHL's been on a break, so.
We got nothing other than Team USA.
Team USA, that is true.
And why is Travis Sanheim on Team Canada? I did see one thing. The Canadian men's hockey team was watching, like, short track speed skating. And there was, like, a crash from, like, a U.S. guy. that like almost took out the Canadian skater. Everyone reacted except for Travis Sanheim. And people were joking. They're like, yeah, being with the Flyers has broken Travis Sanheim. I'm like, yeah, probably. I mean, it breaks everyone. It breaks the fans.
I was gonna say, being just a fan of the Flyers breaks you, not to
Yeah, I
mention
can
a part of the
imagine a
team.
player.
Like,
He's been through a couple of bad GMs and coaches.
yeah,
He's been through John Tortorella acting like he was
Gosh.
running a Stanley Cup champion team. And
He was
you
not.
can't do that.
he was not. In case you guys didn't realize, he was
No,
not running.
no, far
No.
from it.
Yeah. Let's go to the next team that likes to play with our emotions, of the Phillies.
Yeah, they do that. They do that in a 12-month period.
Yeah.
You'd think they take the off season off.
No.
But no.
That's when they like to do it the most, honestly.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. That's when they
Maybe
drive
besides
me the most
October.
insane.
October off
For a
season, that's
week
when they
in
love to
October.
aggravate you.
Yeah, well, this is what I would qualify this as a good move. I'll say today was a good day in the sense because I think they had to get rid of him. Obviously, you would have liked to get anything for Nick Castellanos, even a bag of chips, but I don't even think
Right.
the bag of chips would consent to being traded for that package. I
No.
think Nick Castellanos his time has run out here, and all you got to pay him that contract.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of a bad situation all around. It goes without saying, Castellanos obviously great memories. I don't have any ill will towards him. I do think the story about him having a beer in the dugout is wild, but I mean,
Yeah.
it was that whole second half he was kind of just on edge. So I'm not shocked about it, but I'm happy that Nick Castellanos gave us some memories. But the time was clear; they had to let him go. If they went at opening day with him, I'd be pretty upset. So
I would have been surprised, too.
I would have been shocked.
Yeah.
But I think it was the right move.
It kind of reminds me of like an alternate Jared McCain. Like, we knew his time was up, but still, like, no beef with him. Like, I love Jared McCain, and I still love Nick Castellanos for what I gave us. Shout out to the Nick Castellanos fan club that I'm a part of. But it was sad to see him go, but we knew it was going to happen. I mean, what, $20 million is what we would have paid him or had to trade him for? Again, like you said, no one's taking
it was
that.
not worth it.
He was a problem in the locker room, supposedly, and it was time. Yeah, all signs led to it. I'm
Yeah.
sure he'll get picked up on definitely a smaller contract, but there'll be a team, maybe even the Pirates, that'll pick him up, and he's got baseball left in him, I believe.
I hope he does. I think there was something like the Padres were in on it. There was like a list of teams I saw on Twitter that were into him. I think the Reds also were into
Yeah.
him, but I don't
They
know.
weren't gonna
Who
trade
knows?
for him.
Maybe the Reds, after failing to get Kyle Schwarber, they could get Nick Castellanos, the better version. Said no one ever.
Yeah. And good news, though, spring training has started, which means we're getting closer to baseball season. I personally cannot wait.
Is it a good thing though for our mental sanity? Probably not.
Probably not, but
That's
at the
a
same
problem. We're gonna
time,
have 3 teams at once driving us insane.
that's true.
I'm excited to watch an athletics game at 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
At a minor league baseball field.
Exactly.
I'm excited for that. That I'm excited for. I'm excited to see the twists and turns of the 162 games season, but not so much for the Phillies because
Yeah.
I think I know where they're headed if they get to the playoffs or a first round exit, in my opinion. But we'll see. Let's see what the deadline has too. I mean, obviously the deadline.
Dave
I
Dombrowski,
guess.
master of the trade deadline.
Well, yeah,
Austin
that doesn't
Hayes.
exist. But maybe other things would be exciting. Yeah, no, they can. When they have a good deadline and they get Bader, they trade him. They trade him, but they don't let him stay.
Only
They're
$10 million,
They're very
too.
against winning, guys.
We could not pay him $10 million. That's way too much money.
Insane amount of money. I can't believe that. That I think we talked about it last time.
Yeah.
That drove me insane. That was
That was
the
my
straw.
breaking point.
Yeah, absolutely. That broke it all for me.
But I mean, I'm just excited for baseball in general. It brings warm weather and the World Baseball Classic, which
That I'm very excited about.
3 Phillies, Kyle Schwarber, Bryce Harper, and new Philly, Brad Keller, will be representing the Phils in the World Baseball Classic. Hopefully, USA brings home the title
See,
this
I
time.
was pressed. The one more thing about that. I think the fact that Trey Turner was not on the team after hitting 391 in
Yeah.
the last edition of the WBC and hitting 5 homers, tying a WBC individual record, and he's not on the team.
Yeah.
He's not on the team, guys, because we needed Ernie Clement on the team over him.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because Ernie Clement can play off. He's the best tool we got, guys. He can play first, second, shortstop, third. How about, here's a funny thing. You have your two-shot shortstops, right? How about Trey Turner play seconds? Because his problems is throwing the ball and turning two. It doesn't change that he's at second with the troubles of turning two. And in fact, his throwing will improve because he's not throwing 50 more feet.
Right.
But no, guys, we're not going to take the bat that carried us to the final last year, 3 years ago. We're going to take Ernie Clement. That's my biggest issue. Ernie Clement, I don't care if he hit like 280 last year or whatever he did. I know he had a good season, but dude, I don't care. That's like a middle finger to me. It's like if they didn't pick LeBron for the Olympic team. LeBron's been had so many good runs. Trey Turner's literally was the best player on that team last year.
Right. Him and probably Trout,
Yeah, exactly.
who's not there either.
Yeah, that makes no sense. So I had to look up if Trey Turner actually denied it. No, they genuinely did not invite him.
Wow.
So that was the shocker for me. That's my only bone to pick with that. But aside from it, I'm very excited. I think Team USA is a heck of a team.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be awesome. And I think there's a lot of stories to look for in spring training as well for the Phillies. Guys like Painter and Aiden Miller are going to be up there, and Justin Crawford's already been working with guys like Brandon Marsh, which the outfield is a whole separate story on his own. We talked about this before, but it's now with Castellanos gone, it's Garcia and it's Marsh and it's Justin Crawford. So if Justin Crawford goes out there and plays how a regular rookie would play, which is probably what we're going to get, if not a little worse to start, I mean, this is a bad outfield. Brandon Marsh, he batted well last year, but from a fielder's perspective, he's not great. Adolis Garcia bats, he had like 24 homers and batted 240.
Yeah.
Not horrible, but again, not a heck of an outfielder. And then you have a rookie, Justin Crawford, so it'll be interesting. You couldn't bring back Bader. Castellanos is gone.
Justin Crawford, if he bats 300, that's the only way I'm changed. It's the only way I'm moved with this team. Is if he bats 300. If he bats like 260, 270, all right, you tell me you couldn't get Bader to do the same thing.
For Crawford, you're saying?
Yeah, I'm telling you, like, Crawford would have to really hit well to move the needle in any way for me on this team. I think that's my thing. Like, because I have a bad feeling Crawford, you can't expect a rookie to just, like, jump right in and fill the hole of a guy, on a team that is seriously contending.
Yeah.
I don't think that's fair, and I don't think that's realistic. So I think what I'm gearing myself for is, let's be real, it's going to be a long process.
Yeah, and I think what's most disappointing is it's still a team that can go out there and win 80 to 90 games. But, I mean, if we see the same thing we've seen in the playoffs and now you throw a rookie into the mix and a bunch of inconsistent batters, it's like they're just going to get eliminated in the first or second round again. You're not going to see any improvement, which is what we've said. They're running it back with nearly the same exact squad, which makes no sense because you haven't seen good results since 2022. I guess 2023 you made it to the NLCS, but I don't get why the Philly GMs, besides Howie Roseman, we just talked about it with Daryl Morey, they just like to watch these teams around us get better and better. Braves are healthy. Mets only got better. They brought in Bo Bichette, who we wanted, and oh my gosh, sorry.
Yeah, that feels nice to get bounced over for Bichette. That was really bad.
Yeah.
And now we get to see him 17 times
exactly.
season now.
I think it's irresponsible from a GM's perspective to go out there and watch all these other teams get better. And, I mean, I guess he gave an offer to Bo Bichette, and that was a whole weird situation. But you still could have done more prior to that than just bringing in Garcia and letting Bader walk. And I just think the offseason has been, now for a few years, mismanaged and handled poorly, and it's the same thing we've seen, and they're doing the same thing and expecting to get different results. I don't know why, but I'm still going to be sat on the couch ready opening day to watch this team with a smile on my face. So
let's be real, probably.
I'm probably going to be there. Hopefully Zach Wheeler will be there as well. He
was throwing the ball around.
I was going to say he was throwing. So if we have hope. If he misses a series or two, it's not the end of the world. I think we'll be fine. I have a decent amount of confidence in our starting pitching staff to get us through there. But
We'll share it on the back end.
yeah,
We
so
lost Ranger, but we'll see.
I know we did lose Ranger. That was really sad, but it's been a rough offseason, guys.
Apparently, we're saying his name wrong too. Apparently, it's Ranger.
Really?
Yeah, he said it in like the Boston press conference, and everyone's just like, "Wait, so we're saying his name wrong for like 5 years?" Yeah, that was another thing that I thought was pretty hilarious. But
well, what about the Eagles? Because they're having like a fantastic offseason, right?
I don't think they're having much of any. Everything's negative.
Yeah.
What is it? Lane Johnson might retire. Landon Dixon might retire.
Jeff Stoutland is gone.
No.
I mean, that's the biggest coaching loss.
That was really bad.
I'd rather have lost Nick Sirianni than have lost Jeff Stoutland. And I don't think that's crazy to say. Jeff Stoutland's been there since 2013. He's produced Hall of Fame talents Jason Peters, Jason Kelsey, Lane Johnson. He worked with Mekhi Becton and revived his career. And now you're bringing in Sean Mannion's guy, who is Chris Cooper, the Vikings offensive line coach. And guess what he did there? Nothing. Donovan Jackson they took with the whatever overall pick in the first round. He did not look good. These offensive linemen that he's developed in the past years look terrible. They look like if he would have...
a strong word.
Well, tried to develop
no
them.
developments.
Because
they suck.
they look like if Chris Cooper's been developing Cam Jurgens and Landon Dickerson, but only their last year's production when they look terrible. That's how we can probably expect the rest of the guys we draft. Caden Proctor is one of the guys who I would have loved to work with Jeff Stoutland because he has crazy size and crazy raw talent. He just needs to be fine-tuned and developed. I don't have that same confidence in this new coach. I think taking Caden Proctor now would probably not be the greatest pick at 23. At 23, it might have been a little bit of a reach, but with what Stoutland can do and the fact that he'd be under Lane Johnson, who might not be there anymore, like, you're just not going to see that same development. Jordan Mailata, who had never played football before, 7th-round pick, Jeff Stoutland turned him into an all-pro. You're not seeing that out of this guy, and I hope I'm wrong. I pray that I am wrong about this guy. I pray that he proves me wrong, but you are not going to get the same results, the same respect, the same culture that you got from Jeff Stoutland, and I think it's partly on Howie Roseman. If this guy, if he's walking out of the building because he doesn't want to work with Nick Sirianni, and we've seen guys do that, maybe it's time for Sirianni to go. And Sirianni is a guy that I've been high on for a while. I've defended him, of course, after we won the Super Bowl. He's a head coach. That's a big part of the Super Bowl. But now we've seen a collapse 2 out of the past 4 years. We've seen 2 Super Bowl appearances. Sure, 3. But, I mean, specifically these last 2, we've seen 2 Super Bowl appearances, and we've seen 2 horrible collapses, and they're almost as equally impressive. I mean, to have...
I'd say that the collapse is incredibly impressive, given how much they had to just be god-awful.
Exactly.
With the talent they had, that's impressive to be really bad like they have been in these collapses.
And what's equally as impressive as that is how bad his coaching hires are internally. Sean Desai, 2023. Brian Johnson, 2023. Kevin Patullo, 2025. See ya. Have fun in Miami. I'll drive you to the airport if you need a ride.
Yeah, honestly.
It's just all these outside hires, Vic Fangio, Kellen Moore, Shane Steichen, and hopefully Sean Mannion are clearly the guys that are almost more important to this organization. I mean, if you would say who would you rather have, Fangio or Sirianni, I'm picking Fangio. If you said who would you rather have, Kellen Moore or Nick Sirianni, at this point I'd say Kellen Moore, Shane Steichen. I'd rather have Jeff Stoutland. Like, I don't know what Sirianni brings. I know the players say they love him, but I think going into this year, you have a few names that are free agents. You're not going to have the same team. I think if you see a collapse similar to what you've seen in 2023 and what you saw last year, it is time for Sirianni to go because you can't keep wasting the primes of Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis. I can go on. Zach Bond, Quinyon Mitchell, Cooper DeJean. You have so much talent, and you have to do something with it. He's a CEO head coach, they say. He's a player's coach. Prove it. Prove it.
Get these guys.
These are unproven coordinators you're working with, right? I mean, not Vic Fangio, but Sean Mannion. He's a first-time play caller. He's an outside hire. Prove you can do it. Prove Kellen Moore wasn't developed by Mike McCarthy, and who was he under? Jim Harbaugh or Brandon Staley with the Chargers. He was under one of them.
Yeah.
Or Shane Steichen. He was with Sirianni before, but Sirianni wasn't the head coach. Prove that you can develop these coaches and that you deserve a head coach job, and it's not the coordinators and it's not the roster, it's you. And I think he's yet to prove that, and I hope just like I said about Chris Cooper that he proves me wrong. But that's what I'm seeing, and I think if you see another collapse, it's time for Sirianni to kick rocks.
Oh, absolutely. I think I'm with you on that because I don't think Sirianni. I'm not a guy that's by this point that's like you gotta keep Sirianni. No, you don't.
No,
you absolutely don't. The story about them going behind Stoutland's back and making adjustments to the run game is unacceptable and is unprofessional as well. So I'm not high on that. Yeah,
if that's true, I mean, if you're Stoutland and that's true, and you've been there for 13 years now, and that's the kind of respect that they're showing you, leave. You can get a job somewhere else, and you can develop those guys. I mean, we're losing more by him leaving than he is by leaving us, and I don't know. It's ridiculous. Honestly,
he's getting out of Dodge, and honestly, good for him. Yeah, I'm wishing him success. I could wish the Dolphins success, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much wishes I give them.
Dude, what were they
thinking? They will be god awful. I don't know what they're doing.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Why? What does he bring to your team? In positive way, not negative. What positivity does it bring to a struggling quarterback like Tua in his career? Hasn't really been able to get things going in his career, I guess. Let's bring in a guy like Kevin Patullo. Pass game coordinator. Jesus.
Dude, I really think
it's psychotic.
I think the only spot on an offensive coaching staff that he would fit well in as like a red zone specialist or like
water boy.
Or that, yeah. But we saw like a very positive red zone offense from the Eagles. Like they were one of the top red zone offenses in the league. The problem was we didn't get there much.
It didn't happen often.
We didn't get there much. But like with Dallas Goedert had like 11 touchdowns in the regular season or 10 touchdowns, and probably 8 of them came in the red zone, 9 of them. So I think he brings a positive aspect to your red zone offense, but really besides that, I don't see the appeal. He couldn't work with an offense 8 times as talented as the Dolphins offense. So it's a very, 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 very questionable hire. But honestly, Miami can do what they want. They don't have too much effect on us as Eagles fans. They're not even in the same conference. So he can have fun. Again, if he needs a ride to the airport, I do have my license. I might need to borrow a car, but I'll make it work, dude. If you need a ride.
I'll make sure.
If it's you need a ride or you're staying here, I will get you a ride. Dude. I'll probably just pay for your Uber, actually. We could just
honestly, let's just get him out.
Yeah.
Enough.
But
thank God.
No, yeah. And the funny thing is, it was Elliot Shore Parks on Twitter. He said that he would have been a positive. This isn't word for word, but it was a big loss with all these new coaches in the building. I was like, you can't these players clearly have. Maybe I'm wrong, but from what I've seen,
says stuff.
I just feel like these players have no respect for him as a coach.
Yeah,
that's what we've seen in the media. They didn't want to talk about him at the end of the season. They avoided questions. They were probably out partying last night when he took the job in Miami.
They didn't go to bat for him.
No.
In the post game, you'll see some some coaches, some post game, some players will go to bat for these coaches.
And I feel like Jalen Hurts does that.
Yeah.
He did that. He did that for Sirianni. He's done it probably for Kellen Moore. So, the fact that he didn't do it for Patullo, at least to a certain extent, is very telling.
For Brian Johnson? No. Clearly.
I seriously, that may be really hot
he definitely
take,
didn't. I do remember it was a foregone conclusion. It was more clear than it was with Kevin Patullo that he was gone.
Yeah, they were both gone.
It was known. It's a known commodity. He's gone.
Yeah. What do you think? Because I've seen this a few times. They're talking about if Jalen Hurts were to ask for a contract extension this offseason, would you give it to him? He's under contract until 2029 already.
No, I don't, because I don't see a need to.
I agree.
How old is Jalen Hurts right now? Right, like let's do
26, 27.
All right, so by the end of his contract, he's going to be
27.
Yeah, he's going to be 30. Yeah, he's going to be 30 or 31. Yeah. I mean, or 30. Yeah, I'll be 30. He's August. I don't see the point of. I know he won a Super Bowl. We're still got 3 more years left on his contract.
Yeah.
You're trying to win more. So why are we. I don't understand why we're going to waste our time thinking about Jalen Hurts, who has to stay for the last 3 years. I don't understand, like, he's here for the next 3 years. So how about instead of working on that, I think Jalen Hurts should be focused on letting his front office get him the tools to win.
Yeah.
To get him the tools to not get looked over by like 20 different offensive coordinators to just ignore the Philly OC job. I mean, that was crazy. And I think that, I don't know, I don't think you pay him yet.
I agree.
I don't hate that they're looking into a contract extension. I'm still a Jalen Hurts believer, but like, I don't know. We'll see. I think time will tell. Whatever, if they do decide to engage in these talks later on this offseason. It's only February.
Yeah.
So got the drafts, but just not.
Yeah.
I'm not moved with talking about Jalen Hurts' extension because I think there's so much more for him left to do here with his final 3 years. Maybe when it sinks under 2, when we get like 2027. All right. We'll talk about it, but I think there's still time that you don't have to dive too deeply into it. I mean, just focus on playing football.
I agree.
Focus on not losing in the first round to the 49ers, please.
I think he's pretty good at that for the most part, but I mean,
he's got some accolades that would demonstrate such.
I love Jalen Hurts as much as probably more than a lot of Eagles fans. I love Jalen Hurts. I'm a huge fan.
Very divisive guy.
I mean, I would love Jalen Hurts to be an Eagle for his entire career, but at this point, I agree with what you said. I don't think there's any reason to extend him. I don't think he's going to go and ask for it. He has another 3 years. This started because, again, I don't want to bring him up. Elliott Shore-Parks said that if they wouldn't give him one this offseason to request a trade.
Why would he do that?
I don't know if that's just him trying to start headlines for the media or
Absolutely.
what.
But that's all he does.
But
he's either an idiot or he actually does this on purpose.
Right, but nonetheless, it's been a topic all over Philadelphia Eagles Twitter and WIP for the past few days, so I thought I had to bring it up. I would think in Jalen Hurts' mind, he probably would not bring that up. He doesn't seem like that kind of guy.
No, I don't think he would. Yeah, I don't see him as that type of guy.
And I don't think most franchises, maybe unless it's like Patrick Mahomes got a 10-year contract when they extended him. He won 3 Super Bowls. At the time, it was 2. But, like, most teams aren't going to extend their guys an additional 3 years when they're already under contract for, like Josh Allen maybe. But, like, I don't think most franchises would extend their guys past, like, 4 or 5 years. So I just think it's a weird thing to bring up. It's a weird thing to stir in the media. This team doesn't need any more negative light from what's happened in the past few weeks. But I'm excited for free agency personally because they put an extension on the salary cap. So
yeah,
it was
I think 27 mil or something.
They extended 27 mil, so we have like 37 now.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, they made the salary cap higher. So yeah, I do believe that the Eagles do have more money now to work with, which is
good. That's good because for me, you have 5 key free agents leaving this season. If you don't mind, I'll run through them real quick. Nakobe Dean, who's going to be looking at 12-year. Unfortunately, I think he's gone. What we saw out of Jahad Campbell when he started in the absence of Nakobe Dean was personally enough for me, and the fact that you spent a first-round pick on him, you traded up for him. In fact, it was only 1 pick, but you made that move to make sure you got him. They clearly have a lot of trust in him. I think Fangio can do wonders with him. He seems like a very good off-ball linebacker. And for what Nakobe Dean is going to ask for, which is going to be around $12 million, it's not worth it. He's a great player when he's on the field, but that's the problem is he's always injured. And I don't think that would be a good use of cap to bring him back If he wants to take a team-friendly guaranteed deal and get a bunch of incentives, that's fine. But I really would like to see what they can get out of Jahad Campbell. Reed Blankenship is another guy. I'll be interested to see. His market value is looking at $8 million right now, and maybe with the increase in cap you bring him back, and you probably will. He's a huge locker room guy. Him and DeJean are best friends. They do their podcast together. But I think from a football perspective, Reed Blankenship likely had his worst year as a starter this past year. If you don't bring him back, it might be bad for the culture, but from a complete, production standpoint, maybe you upgrade. It's a strong early safety class in this year's draft.
Yeah.
Jalen Phillips, for me, is the main priority. The pass rush struggled a lot before him. You saw a huge improve in play from Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt when you added Jalen Phillips, and he himself was very good for us from the defensive end position. He probably would not have came back if they didn't extend the salary cap. He's looking at 22 years. His estimated value for a year on his contract is 22. So you can bring him back now, or you can franchise tag him, which doesn't go against the salary cap. That's still going to be a lot of money, though, especially for edge rusher.
20 mil is like for...
Is that what it is?
I think it's all... Yeah, I think...
Well, that's probably what you do then, because he's looking at 22.
Yeah, I think they're gonna I think that would end up being the amount they have to cap him for.
Well,
tag him for.
If he doesn't want an extension, then you tag him, because that doesn't go against the salary cap, and you'd be paying him less than you'd paying him per year for this.
Oh yeah.
Dallas Goedert, again, similar. Well, not similar to Blankenship. Similar because I love Goddard. He's been here for his entire career for going on 8 years now, I believe. Drafted in 2018. But he's another one of those guys. He's 31. He's never had a full season. This was his most productive season. But in turn, now he's going to want more money. He's looking at $10 million a year. There's going to be teams, there's going to be offenses willing to pay him probably more than us. I've seen the Chargers mostly. And the last is Braden Mann, the punter. He's going to cost you $3 or $4 million. Bring him back.
Yeah, why
he was
not?
one of the best punters in the league, I really believe. It's not a huge deal, I think, but I would love to see him back.
Yeah.
I think the main priority is Phillips, Goddard, then Blankenship, and then if somehow you can bring back Nakobe Dean among all that, that would be great. But I don't expect to have all of them back. I'd say probably 2, maybe 3 of them come back.
I believe that Howie can find a creative way.
Yeah.
As he has before. I think there's certainly possibility of that happening, but I think the more realistic side of things is that someone's got to go.
Yeah. I mean, you see departures every year after the Super Bowl. You saw it from Josh Sweat and Darius Slay and Milton Williams. You can't afford to pay. That's the problem with having these championship teams is you can't afford to pay all your guys when the time comes. And I also think that's another reason that we don't re-sign all of them is because he's going to be working on extending guys like, I guess not Quinyon or Coop because they're not eligible yet, but Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nolan Smith, I believe, is eligible. So there's other priorities. I would say all 3 of the guys I just named, maybe besides Nolan Smith, are priority over most of these guys, maybe not Jalen Phillips, but it'll be interesting if there's anyone I trust. It is Howie Roseman, which is the complete opposite of David Dombrowski and Daryl Morey. So at least we have one GM that knows what he's doing, and then you have the draft. We have the 23rd overall pick. I would have loved Caden Proctor. I don't think that's the pick this year. You have an unproven offensive line coach, at least from what he's done in Minnesota. It's not much to write home about. And Proctor's very raw in his talent. I'd love if you don't sign Goddard back and Kenyon Sadiq there, that's probably my favorite fit. He's a beast of a tight end out of Oregon. So we'll narrow it in as the time comes. But a lot of questions for the Eagles this offseason. And I'm excited for it to get going. I am excited for the Phillies, despite the negative things we said. And hopefully the Sixers can come back from the All-Star break.
They were all not out of. They were all valid shots, I think.
Yeah. They're all. They're all valid. Yeah. But, that wraps it up. I mean, unless you got anything else to say.
No, do not lose by 50 against it next.
Yeah, please don't do that.
That's it.
Work hard in the All-Star break. And, that pretty much wraps up the first episode of the 215 Sports Show from Jack Morgan and Donovan Cranage. We'll see you guys next week, and thanks for tuning in.